Good morning. Another tardy morning, so apologies. But I'm just surrounded here. I am drowning, not waving, I think, in bits of paper and things. Had a very busy day yesterday. Creating kits that are ready to go out, and having a class yesterday afternoon, and lots of things going on. We did a live looking through the new PDF for the new autumn winter catalogue yesterday evening, so we were busy. I pulled a real late nighter, early morninger, so yeah, I'm struggling to get going a bit this morning, but we're here now, and if you're here with us, hello. One of the things that did happen yesterday was I had an order come through with new things. New things are always excited, but look, all the papers and things that I needed to complete paper shares and things arrived, and I've not even opened these yet, so I've not even looked. So these are playing with patterns. Ooh, those are nice papers, aren't they? Oh, I like the spotty one. That's rather fun. Those are really lovely patterned papers for all sorts of occasions, aren't they? And this is the suite that also has those alphabet dies with it. They were on back order, but they are on their way, so I think they might arrive today or tomorrow. But those are really lovely. And then I think we're going back round the patterns again, are we? But a lovely set of papers. Those are lovely. Oh no, I've not seen that one before. So they really are playing with patterns. Lots of lovely patterns there. So that pack has obviously got 48 sheets in, but I need to divide that up into the paper shares. So that's one job. So paper shares and colour clubs and all of those sorts of things are on my agenda for today. Whether I shall get it all finished today is another matter, but they're on the agenda. This is the paper that goes with the whale suite, so the whale of a time paper. Lovely colours, aren't they? All I call the fishies. So 4 of that one. Ooh, look at that seaweed. That's really lovely. Lots of little fishies. You could almost make like an aquarium card with that, couldn't you? A fish tank. Because it almost looks like one of those papers along the back of the fish tank. There's a swirly fish. That would make a nice sort of centre to a scrapbook page. It's a nice coral. There's some whales. I would imagine that they might punch out with a puncher. I haven't tried that, but some waves on there. Lots of jellyfish. Oh, I like that one. That's a really nice pattern. Seahorses. Sort of greeny waves. Lots of turtles. And a yellow sort of honeycomb pattern. Little crabs along the bottom there. More whales. Little wave of turtles. Very Finding Nemo. Bit of everything on there. Oh, that's nice. It's a really lovely colour palette in this paper, and some yellow fishes, so that's really lovely. So that's the whale papers, so I'll get that sorted. It was exciting looking at papers for the first time and smelling them. I love the smell of newly opened packs of paper. So that's giving me a boost this morning, is the smell of the newly opened packs of paper. This is the peony one. Beautiful. I love this sort of grey granite colourway. That's lovely. It's a beautiful pattern, isn't it? You could colour some of those in, just sort of spot colour some of those. That's lovely. Really pretty sort of subtles. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? sort of herringbone type pattern. Some grey granite peonies on the back. Hi Jane, just flicking through the papers that came yesterday. Oh, that is just gorgeous. Oh, I like that marble. Those are stunning. Very softly, quietly elegant. We have the pets. Morning, Anita. They're so cute, aren't they? So there's the pampered poochies. Nice red stripe. Oh, I like the paw prints. More dogs, and there's some cats. I love this startled expression on this cat's face. Fishies on the back. There's the dog food. Scratch, wag, play, laugh, bark, woof. Then you've got the cat's toys and the cat's food. So you've got paw, jump, love, meow, purr, snooze. They'd be great, wouldn't they, on scrapbook pages if you were making a scrapbook page of a pampered pet. Then this is the artistry blooms. So this is mad paper. You have to have a bit of mad paper. We are going to get on to play with something in a minute. I'm just flicking through this. Those are beautiful, aren't they? Love that background. Really lovely. You don't necessarily want a lot of these sorts of papers. That's really lovely. Just a bit of a snippet of some of them. Those are really pretty. Is this your favourite, Lisa? Gorgeous. It is beautiful. And then the other thing I've got here is some of the specialities, because I did do a speciality paper share as well this time. So this is the velveteen paper. We'll come on to that one in a minute. So you've got 3 sheets here of velveteen paper, so you can't feel it, but it is sort of flocked velvety paper. Beautiful. Highland heather, cinnamon cider and soft sea foam. Furry paper. Beautiful. It's got a beautiful feel to it. So that is the velveteen paper, and then the rainbow glimmer paper. Look at that. Don't need to even open the packet, do I? So it's got a beautiful shimmer and shine to it, and it's just stunning, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. So those are the papers and things. To say that's one of today's jobs, is to sort out those paper shares and things, get those packaged up, and they'll hopefully be wending their way to people by the end of the week. My water painters have arrived. Now I like the fact, to start with, that they come in this case. That is beautiful. Now I've not even attempted to open them yet. They're quite a bit longer, aren't they? They feel longer and thinner than the other ones. And we've got 3. We've got this large brush here, the sort of wide paint. It's beautiful. Pointed tip just there. And then this one is an even finer tip. Look at that. That's beautiful. Now I've not used any, and I've not filled them up. Now what I do know is I was pre-warned before these even arrived. There was somebody posted on a demonstrator page a couple of weeks back, my water painters have arrived and I cannot open them to fill them. What is going on? Have I got, anybody got any tricks? And I just happened to comment and say, I don't know whether this is the case. But I have in the past worked with water brushes where instead of opening it instinctively like you would a pen, you have to twist it the other way. Now I think it's to stop it from accidentally opening, sort of working itself loose. I think the fact that it opens the other way should help to stop that working loose accidentally. But yeah, so if you go instinctively to open it like you would open a pen, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to be tightening it. And I can just remember doing that with some pens before. Now I'm going to attempt That little funnel isn't going to fit in there. I didn't know whether it would, but I'm going to attempt to fill these. Let's get a bit of kitchen towel underneath for the... And actually what I have got here is a little plastic bowl, because I was using those to gather bits up yesterday. See, that's typical. Didn't make much mess at all there. If I hadn't have made all of those precautions, that would have gone everywhere, wouldn't it? So turn it the other way to tighten it up. So that's that one filled. Let's fill the others while we're here. See, it's just... But at least when you go and it's not working, you can think to yourself, no, that's because I need to turn it the other way. As long as you're in the know. 2. And then let's do our big fat one too. See, still, every time, every one of those, I've tried to turn the wrong way. Even though I've just stood here and said to you, you need to turn it the sort of counter to what you counterintuitively. Right, so we've filled all those up. They've got quite a good big... Oh, that's that one. I didn't think that looked as if that's going to fit in there. Got quite a good big barrel to hold all that water, so that will hopefully keep us going a little while. And the other thing I've got here that we are going to play with today, I've not even opened it, but it was going to be obvious, wasn't it, that this was going to be one that was going to be in my shopping basket. It has a duck on it. Why would I not want that? So we're going to have a bit of a play with the field journal set. Now obviously I've not even opened this yet. And I think we might not do both cards watercoloured, but we should at least watercolour one, because we'll have a play with our watercolour pens as well, because we've been looking forward to trying those out as well. So let's take her back off. Let's get our duck stamp ready for action. And I'm sure we'll add some other ones in, but this is going to be... It's quite funny, because every year when a catalogue comes out, you know, and you're asking the question, what would you like to see? Duck stamps. So we've had cute ducks. It's been a little while since we've had geese. But this one is very definitely a duck. Perfect. Going to, and this stamp set is called Field Journal, and obviously field journals tend to be those little notebooks that people note what they've seen. I missed that slightly. And sort of right next to it, you know, what the species was and all of those sorts of things. Completely missed that bottom bit on there. I'll have to trim that. Yeah, they sort of write what they've seen and perhaps the date and perhaps some little details. And there's that one. Got some obviously here in the UK we wouldn't see a yeah, Emma, a duck. Yes, you'll be equally excited by the duck. Here in the UK you're not likely to see chipmunks in the wild. But he's a very cute little chipmunk. There he is. What else have we got? This little ladybird, he's very cute. Little ladybird on a leaf. Hi Molly. And Janice. He's beautiful. And then we've got a couple of greetings. A wonderful person like you makes life even better. I hope my fan in the background isn't too annoying, but I think without it we wouldn't be functioning today. And it's early yet, it's going to get hotter. A little kindness makes a big difference. It does indeed. I think we've all learnt those lessons if we hadn't already realised it over the last few months. And a thank you. Yeah, it's exciting. Duck! And not just sort of a comedy duck, a real duck. Right, let's just pop them on back on there now. Now I'm going to quickly scan scanning my shelves. Just want excuse me, wobbling you and knocking you about. I just want some lined paper. I'm going to put that to one side. We'll perhaps have that in a minute. Right, but first of all, let's have a little look at our duck. We'll go black stays on, I think. And let's stamp him up. He's rather lovely, isn't he? And what colours shall we have? Possibly shaded spruce. Trying to think about, it's a bit funny, your mind goes blank, doesn't it? You think, oh, I know what colour a duck is. Let's just have a quick look and see. What I should have done before I came on live, I should have Googled some and found some pictures. I'll sometimes do that. I will sometimes print off some pictures of things and sort of pop them in the stamp box, so you've got almost a colouring guide. Not that you have to, you can make your ducks and things whatever colour you want. Here's the little example in the catalogue. Yes, I was thinking I want some red. I think perhaps terracotta tile will go. Wasn't far off, and I think we might want a bit of craft ink as well. Right, let's have a little look at this guy, and let's take our very fine water brush and let's see how that goes. So we'll start with some shaded, some soft suede. Might actually And we've got a little push button on there which presumably squeezes the water through to the tip. Yes, it does. And we're going to paint the back of his wings here. That's a really nice fine brush. A lovely line drawing, beautiful. There we are. What did I do with that bowl and that little bit of kitchen towel? Let's just squeeze that through and get rid of that. And I'm going to take some shaded spruce and we will paint his head. When you do get to look at birds up close, they just, the plumage and the colours are beautiful, and sometimes the way that the light hits them. I was watching some pigeons in the garden the other day, and the different sort of shades of pinks and purples, and they really are beautiful. Mother Nature is a wonderful artist. Ducks, yes, they're beautiful, and I think even I mean, for the mallards, which we have quite a few of here, you know, the males are stunning with all their plumage, but if you look close up at the females, although they tend to be mainly browns, just the markings and things are just stunning. I'm going to give him a crushed curry beak. It's got a very fine point on this brush, beautiful. Terracotta tile we decided, didn't we, for his... And good morning, Glenda. Answering your questions. Or responding to you, but hadn't even said good morning. And a bit of terracotta tile down here. Its legs, I think. I'll do them yellow, but I may just add in a touch of the terracotta tile as well, just make them a bit more orangey. There we go. And then we just need to add some colour really to the main body bit. So I'm going to take some soft suede and very sort of lightly add in some soft suede down here. And then pick up a bit of craft ink on that block. Just going to come in over that top. With that white. A bit more soft suede on that tail. He is rather lovely. Now we have a bit of a pond going on there, so well, I think pool party would be appropriate, wouldn't it? Just to add in a bit of water down the bottom there. Oh, isn't he lovely? Sorry, this is totally self-indulgent. My duck stamp arrived and we're going to play ducks. He's gorgeous. Right, let me find another piece of cardstock while he's just there happily drying. To cut this down to 13.9 by 9.5. I'm going to fussy cut him out in a minute, but I think I want to have a play with this wide brush. So let us, that's fun, isn't it? So I've not tried any of these, so we will see what happens. Drip, 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 here it comes. Right, what I might do, we had the spritz yesterday, didn't we? It obviously didn't go back. That's very annoying. Got an empty one here. Though it may have a bit of pink in it, so that's perhaps not a good idea. Looks like it's a little bit pink on the bottom. Actually, let's use my old water brush or one of these other water brushes. That will do. Just going to use this water brush for a minute. I just want to lay some water down on this card. You get things in your head, don't you, thinking, oh, I could spritz it. There are other ways. Excuse me, first sneeze in the morning. Right, so now we've got some pool part, we've got some colour on there. Ooh, that's going to make watercolour wash backgrounds nice and easy, isn't it? And obviously you can do stripes or what you like. Might come in. Not cleaned my brush. I've still got this bit of Whisper White Craft ink on there. I might just add some of that in. Just give a slightly different effect when it dries. Beautiful. That is definitely going to make watercolour washing backgrounds easy. As I say, you could do stripes of colour. Good fun. That's going to be really useful. Let's give this a bit of a blast just to dry it. I saw somebody else. I think if Angie comes on, I was something popped up on my Facebook before I came on, and she'd been watching the Pampered Stamper, and she was playing with this set. I thought, oh, how rude, how cheeky. She's stolen my thunder, but I'm going to go ahead anyway because it's my duck stamp. It has to be done. Right, I'm going to take this medium size. I'm going to add in, we have to test our splattering capabilities. So we'll add in some splatters in the background there as well for a bit more sort of texture going on. Lovely. Now, take this sort of flower going on here, and my replacement punch arrived yesterday, by the way, the punch that froze last week, that jammed, and I told you I'd messaged demo support and that they'd got straight on it, and one was on its way to me. That arrived yesterday as well. I'm going to ink up this sort of wildflower weedy type stamp. I'm just going to have sort of stamped off coming in the background. So what I didn't do again today was wet my cleaner. Where did it go? Because I have got a jug of water here. Here we are. Let's just take this jug of water and tip it in there, and then it will soak that up over the next minute or two, ready for us to use in a bit. So I'll just sit that there for a second, and I think we'll take this little foliage stamp here as well. I think we'll stick with the soft suede stamped off. So it is just bringing in some background images. I'm going to put another one of these in, I think down the bottom here. Right, our little duck, I'm going to cut him out. going to attempt to cut between those little spindly legs. And I may need to go in and add a bit more colour around these feathers. Now I fear I'm either going to lose that curl I'm going to go for something I haven't used in a very long time. So these are not a Stampin' Up tool, but they are the tool to get into really tight spaces if you're trying to. I'm not going to get all of that card out. I'm going to get enough to be able to add some colour and still get the effect of a curl. Let's come in with our little narrow brush. And we'll just add in a bit of brown ink to cover in that white bit. And likewise we'll just put in a bit of blue in here. There we go. He is lovely. Do like him very much. Going to what I might also do is we're building this. So I might take a bit more shimmery white card and it stays on ink. That block wasn't quite wide enough for that stamp, which is why we've got a slightly darker piece. I'm going to use the same green, but I'm adding quite a bit more water to it. Just to add in a bit of colour. Now I have to say with this one, we are going to be losing the roots. There's fussy cutting and there's fussy cutting. Let's give this some little crushed curry flowers. Round we come. Ooh, I missed a petal there. I'm not going to sit and give this as much detail as I could do in cutting this out, because otherwise we'll be here all morning. But obviously if you don't want to get in close, you can just, if you cut the whole thing out with a border, so the whole lot has got a border, that tends to make it come together a little bit easier. I am going to go in a minute and fill in some gaps, some colour in the background. Lovely sort of sketchy feel to these stamps, which is of course what they are. They're somebody, the idea is that somebody's been out on a country walk and taken lots of pictures of the things that they see. So let's add some pool party in the back here, just so that that's blending into the background. Touch more green in places. Just to bring those leaves out. Otherwise they're blending into the background too. And then I think we do just need a spot or yellow. Because there certainly was one petal I'd missed altogether. There we are. So we'll have that coming out behind our duck here. We'll have a wonderful person like you makes life even better. We'll do that in Stays On. Let's pop that lid on there quickly because it is so warm. I'm going to snip this up. Excuse me, as if I get near this fan it suddenly gets louder. Let's a bit of shaded spruce in the background here. Right, so let me stick that on there. I'm going to use some Tombow. Obviously this has been watercoloured, which does mean it tends to bow just a little bit, and you need to make sure you've got a good strong adhesive in the background. So that's our background that we created with that second generation stamping and our watercolouring and a bit of splattering and all of those sorts of things going on. Got some linen thread here. We might need to twiddle that a bit. We will see. I think yeah, I'm going to lay that down so it's coming about there. We'll stick that down over the thread, and then our little ducky, let's just give him a bit of a curl running through our fingers. Now we're going to raise him up on some dimensionals. Just there, and then a wonderful person like you makes life even better. Now I'm just wondering whether I make that yeah, quite like that. I think we'll make it a soft suede card base. then we'll just give that a good squidge of Tombow too. There, he's rather beautiful. And I think those watercolour pencils have absolutely passed muster. So they get a big tick. It's just the tiniest bit of linen thread there. Let's get rid of all these bits, because I thought, so that's painting with watercolour, so using the inks to watercolour. But I've just torn a piece of lined paper here off of a pad that was just on the side here, any old lined paper. I'm going to take my duck and my stays on. Let's actually this time, let's go with the brown stays on and see what difference that makes to the look of the duck. So I'm going to ink him up with my saddle brown stays on, and I'm just going to stamp it onto this lined paper. Just cheap old bog standard lined paper. As always, we've no idea what we're doing or where this is going to go, but we shall see. I'm then going to tear that out. Poor old duck, roughing him up. Pop that on there to hold it down in place. I'm going to attempt to ink up the edge of this paper. So it needs to be, it's obviously quite thin and flimsy. We've just gone in, it's going a little bit harder now we've started the process. And really sort of aging our bit of paper. So it just was torn out of a notepad that I've got here on the side. And you can see how woofy floaty it is, because it's just floating away. Now obviously we are not going to attempt to watercolour this pad, that would be mad. Let's not sit on the Simply Chamois, because I've just tipped water on that, so I'd have a very wet bottom. Although it's not likely to make me feel too uncomfortable particularly. If anything, it might be oh, that feels nice. Right, what colours shall we go for? Let's have some old olive. So we'll give this one an old olive head. Actually come in his eye there with a bit of white, and we'll give him an orange beak, and we'll have orange feet Now this is crushed curry, this one. And we'll come in here with some crushed curry. Might just add in a little bit of Cajun craze around this front sort of breast part, just because I can. This is an early espresso, but I'm going to go in quite lightly. I'll have a bit where this sort of shading is down here. And the edges of his tail. Where's the white gone? Just there. So let's come back in on this tail, and then sort of blend that out underneath there. Keep him a white collar. There. He's rather fun, isn't he? Now, actually, I think I quite like the idea of this being a square card. But the thing I need to find is an embossing folder. Now, my only worry about that is one of the things I had yesterday when I was mass producing stuff. And I'm not sure that it quite got as far as finding its way home, which might mean it's in this pile of debris. Bear with me 2 minutes, just talk amongst yourselves. I might put it away, you never know. I've got bits of card and bags and everything everywhere. If I can't find it, we will go with the old-fashioned method. No, I'm not going to spend 10 minutes trying to hunt that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of soft suede card. I'm going to trim it down. Before I do paper shares today, I'm going to be so that is 4.5 inches square. I am going to be tidying my workspace because it is mad. Absolutely and completely mad. Right, so I can't find my old paper embossing folder, which is what I'm looking for. So we will do what we would have done before we had an old paper embossing folder. And we're going to scrunch this up. So let's just give that a good scrunch. And then let's open it up and flatten it out with all its and I think I'm going to have to tear the edges of this as well, just to give it an extra special. I look like I've been through the wars look about it. take our soft sprayed ink again, and we'll just go over the top of that and over the top of all those scrunchy up marks. So we have our note paper, our scrunched up old paper in the background. Ooh, stay. I think possibly this one will go. Let's have a crumb cake card base. I'm going to cut this to make a square card, so I'm going to cut it so that it's 5 inches wide by 10 inches long. You can make that sort of 12.5 by 25 if you prefer going metric. And I'm going to score it at 5 inches. So we've got a crumb cake card base there. We've got our scrunched up paper. We've got our duck. I think we need a little bit of something around the edge of that card. Quite tempted to go for this little leaf with the ladybird in it. The soft suede needs a re-ink. Just going all the way around the edge in sort of random directions. It's rather fun. I might actually bring that. I do like that ladybird. She's very cute. Might not be a she, but ladybird, ladybird, fly away home. See, your house is on fire and your children all dead, or something like that. All gone, all gone. Let's hope they're just all gone. They've flown away to safety. I'm going to have this little ladybird on this leaf coming down here, I think. See, we need a bit of red for our ladybird. And ooh, we'll bring in some black. And then we'll just have a bit of a leaf coming on here. Very cute. A very cute little ladybird. And then for this one, I'm going to take the thank you. And stamp this just there. Let me stick this down because otherwise it's just going to keep flying away. some Tombow on the back of that. I'm going to put it on an angle and then give it a good press, just to make sure that adheres nicely to that card, despite its bumps. And I've turned my back for 5 minutes. Where's it gone? Where have you wafted to, you monkey? Oh, for goodness sake. See, I said I'd got to tie it down because it was going to fly away. Which direction has it flown in? Let me put the lid on there. Ah, there it is. It's underneath my card. I thought it had flown away completely. So let's stick that down. That a press. I'm going to take this a little bit kindness makes a big difference, and perhaps we'll have a bit of crumb cake for that. Got lots of oddments of crumb cake. It's funny how some colours you accumulate much more than others. Line that up. It needs a bit more to come off this end. That's it. Now, is that going to fit in there? Yes, it is. Let's just shape those ends. Beautiful. What happened to that random piece of linen thread that was the last on that particular carrier? Just stick that on the back there. Let's get some glue dots. So I'll get a glue dot and stick that on the back there, so it's sort of coming out either side. Just trim the ends, and then we'll find some dimensionals, and we need to make sure that we don't cover up our ladybird. that coming across there like that. So that's giving it a real sort of journal-y feel to it. And I could do a little insert and perhaps just have one of those ladybirds on there as well. So there we are. I've played with my ducks. One is watercoloured with the inks and our new water painters, which are great. I particularly love that big flat brush to doing those backgrounds. That's going to be a game changer for people that struggle doing watercolour backgrounds. And the other one was watercolour pencils. So that one, and I didn't even blend them, that just literally is adding in watercolour pencils. But we just ripped a bit of old paper out of a notebook, and it wasn't even a particularly nice bit. It was sort of dog-eared at the ends, but we ripped those bits off, so it didn't matter. And that makes it look very journally. So there we go. We've played with the ducks, so I can go away happy now. What a good start to the day. Right, a bit later on, I will put up a All Request Friday poll while we decide what we're going to play with tomorrow. So yes, have a good day. If you're here in the UK, try and find yourself somewhere cool to hide out. Be a bit like the dog. He spent the last few days camped out under a bush, so I think he's got a good thing going on there. So find yourself a bush to camp out under, take some stamps with you, and have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.